You're listening to 17 Carat K-Pop, the show that's a little bit of everything with a K-pop twist. Visit 17caratkpop.weebly.com for more information about the show. That's 17caratkpop.weebly.com. Enjoy the show! Hello everybody and welcome back to 17 Carat K-Pop. This is episode 100. And as I discussed at length on the show during episode 99, it's not the 100th episode I had been anticipating and excited for, but as disappointing as it is that this isn't the big exciting interview show that I was looking forward to, I am hoping that over time I just gotta keep up the grind and it'll pay off and I'll get more and more interviews as time goes on, hopefully, and build up more credibility. So I'm just going to continue working on the show and hoping that it's paying off. And so we're just going to keep that up and do the show today. I'll still try to make it interesting, of course. And I want to reveal my top 50 ranked favorite K-pop music videos of 2020. Some for aesthetic reasons, some for just plot reasons they made for an interesting story, some for a mix of reasons. So I hope this is an interesting list, and more lists and info about my best picks of 2020 in K-pop, C-pop, J-pop, songs, videos, etc. Stay tuned for the next few episodes of the show and my website, because just the other day I posted my top 20 album countdown up to number 2. And my big number 1 reveal, not much of a surprise, but it'll still be quite the reveal, hopefully. I have a separate write-up going on the website very soon. I'm waiting for something I will add to that will make sense once it's posted. Maybe another opportunity that doesn't end up as I hoping and dreaming it will, but we'll see. Anyway, I have something special for the website coming soon maybe, so wish me luck and we'll see how it goes. Feel free to check that out, 17caratkpop.weebly.com. Go to the blog section. Now, without further ado, let's just get to the countdown. Number 50, NCT Resonance. Not so much for the actual video content, it's not like it had much of a plot going for it or anything, but it was just such an exciting moment, and it has to have a place on this list because of biased reasons. I'm just such a big N citizen, and it was such a huge moment to see after this year of releasing different music videos with different combinations of members, to finally see all the subunits come together so that it was a big 23-person video and song. Watching the premiere of the Resonance video felt like the portal scene from Avengers Endgame, where all these characters are coming back and the crowd that's watching is getting super excited, or at least in some movie theaters that seemed to be the case, and just watching everyone reunite. I know Super M is technically nicknamed the Avengers of K-pop, but I would argue NCT may actually fit that analogy better, because when they assemble, it is a huge moment because there's so many of them. Very big, exciting moment to finally see them all come together in this conclusion to their year of great releases. Number 49, Alexa Revolution. Her storyline is quite interesting because it's this sci-fi world concept that she's been developing for a while with other releases this year, like Villain and Do or Die. And what I find really cool is that her company, ZB Label, is both her actual company outside of the story and a force inside the storyline. So ZB Corporation is a real thing, but it's also in the story kind of this evil or nefarious agency that is working on artificial intelligence. And anyway, so the best way I can summarize the Revolution music video plot is that Alexa emerges out of this vat of radioactive waste of sorts, and long story short, I don't know if this was a direct cause and effect, but it can be implied based on the order of events in the video that something in that radioactive waste that she came into contact with caused her to develop some sort of superpowers or something that were next level than ever before, because then suddenly she's kicking butt and she's producing force fields and she's eliminating the bad guys in several different ways. And after that scene with the radioactive waste, she also has her eye color is changed, so it's a bit brighter in a very unreal way, a way that is just not found in nature. And so anyway, so she's got this electric blue look to her eyes. It also is a cool to be continued ending where Alexa's character is seen just lying on the ground looking defeated, and someone stomps a scepter on the ground by her, and she looks up to see who's holding the scepter, and it's someone dressed all in armor, and it looks like her. Like it's either her or a clone of her who's staring down at her defeated. So she's the victor and the person who lost this battle, and that's the to be continued ending that you are left with. So it leaves you excited for what 2021 will hold for Alexa's music video universe, and it's just a very cool cinematic video to watch. Number 48, BAE 173 with Crush on You. This was their big debut moment when they released this, and it's just a very cool, intriguing video that makes me excited for their storyline going forward, because it merges a lot of computer animated environments with them, with human beings in those environments. It's a very cool use of not necessarily green screen technology, it's next level. It doesn't do justice to say it's just green screen technology enhanced, but it's a very cool world. I would liken it to Jimmy Neutron or some kids show like that, where it feels like you're in your favorite kids show, where you zoom in on this CGI world and you see other characters within it. Anyway, it's just a very fun, whimsical environment. They're in this cartoonish spaceship of sorts that they all assemble in, and it's just very cool and intriguing. Number 47, Oh My Girl Nonstop. This video I love for the same reasons as Crush on You. It's just such a cute 3D cartoon world that they're dancing in. You've got stairways that lead up into the clouds. You've got these cars that suddenly start floating and bouquets of balloons are released out of them. You've got literal magical sparks flying in the air and causing all this stuff to happen. It's just so surreal. None of it makes sense, but it's just cute and fun. And I just always have a soft spot for teddy bears in any music video, so I just always have. I just can't explain it. They're just adorable. And so anyway, I was very excited to see a teddy bear in this video, and it's just so cute because the girls take the teddy bear out to a little cafe date, and they basically play tag with it, or the teddy bear's chasing them. You can interpret that however you want. The teddy bear's eyes keep sparkling at points as if like some electric current soared through the bear. So at one point the teddy bear comes to life and is like larger than life, like higher than the city buildings, and there are scenes where the teddy bear is looking sassy versus looking cute. I mean, the teddy bear is the star of the show here anyway. So it's just really a cute video with a lot of unique settings, and it's just so much fun to watch. Number 46, 6CIX with Jungle. This video I hesitated to put on this list because I mostly just hate watch it because it's just so cringy, it looks so real, there are so many disturbing scenes in it, but I thought, you know what, it's so cinematic and a music video should provoke those intense emotional reactions out of viewers. So just more objectively, as a video critic, putting myself in those shoes, I would have to argue it has to go on this list because it's impressive what they did that way. So the video for Jungle has basically, it brings to life everything that you may have a literal nightmare about. It's one scene, a guy is in chains in this frozen tundra, one guy is underwater drowning, one guy basically has this stampede of people crawling on top of each other, or at least it looks like that. It's just such an insane merger of so many people and all these hands reaching out to him, and it's just very claustrophobia inducing. There's one scene where a guy has all of these arrows on this dartboard of sorts. He's lying in this circle that's akin to a dartboard, and all of these arrows are all around him, very nearly missing him. There's a scene where one of them looks like he's being dragged by guards to go be sacrificed in front of an audience. It's very intense, but it is very, like I said, cinematic, and so might as well give them a round of applause for doing their acting job. Number 45. CLC Helicopter. We've talked about this video before on the show, so I won't get too much more into it now, but I really do respect and admire the fact that on its face it looks like your standard dance-filled music video without much else to it, just a lot of posing and dancing. But when you really stop and look at the backgrounds, they're very cool. They've got unique art and architectural references throughout, and we've already elaborated on those before, but I just wanted to give it a shout out again because that's what makes this video remarkable and stand out to me, is those little subtle details that when you really stop and look, you realize why the video deserves a second look. Number 44, Luna, So What? I really like how this continues the storyline, and we've also elaborated at length about their music video storyline before, so I won't do that again here. Go to the Luna specific episodes of the show for that. But anyway, So What is a cool continuation of that message, where it is this anthem where all of the girls are basically rising up and coming to terms with this new confident side of themselves that has been unleashed thanks to all of the buildup and the building up of relationships and boosting each other's confidence that have been taking place throughout their music video storyline. And now all the characters are really stepping into their own. So it's a very confident video with a confident song to go with it. And the vibe is just powerful and exciting, especially if you've been following the storyline thus far. You can be excited for their characters to be at this point of confidence. Number 43 is Luna's Why Not video, which also helps continue the story in an interesting way, because not just are there the very human plot lines about relationships and confidence building, but there are also very supernatural concepts at play with Luna, where we're talking about eclipses and magical powers affected by the moon and the stars and everything, and those are the focus of this Luna video. In the video for Why Not, we see all sorts of moons that circle each other, different moons at different points in the video. The logo at the beginning features both red and pink moons. We've already talked about the color scheme's importance for Luna, but that symbolism remains. There are all these fireballs and lightning strikes. It has this very outer space theme that just makes for a cool viewing experience. And I also love that all these little Easter eggs are back in that video that we've seen before. Like I've talked about the white Converse that are zoomed in on, or the other white sneakers, whatever, and the wolf face and other moments like that where it's like, oh, that means more than you think it does. Number 42, Baekhyun with Candy. This I really liked because last year his video for UN Village, which was his first main single in 2019, that was black and white and very just not melancholy, but more chill of a vibe, more of an R&B chill vibe that was literally black and white. And now this video is so colorful. The video for Candy is just so much fun to watch, and it's just very bright and fun and shows the opposite side of himself, which I really like. And the outfits are really cute, the overall just dance moves, and it's just all very fun and happy. That's it. I just love it because it's happy. Baekhyun is dancing in this empty movie theater of sorts, playing the crane machine and just chilling, going to a skateboard ramp area. It's just like a fun house, basically, a fun zone, and he's just wandering through it having a blast, and it's just a lot of fun to watch and pretend that you are living out those fun activities, as if we weren't all quarantining right now. Number 41, G-Friend Crossroads. This video features this blue butterfly at the beginning that flies away, and after the blue butterfly flies away, a girl basically who saw the butterfly backs up and falls downwards, and her character is basically fallen off of a ledge then. The story proceeds in ways that seem unrelated, but the blue butterfly comes back in other G-Friend videos, and it's just a recurring symbol, and however the girls react in the scene with the butterfly ties into the last scene where they were there with the blue butterfly. It makes sense if you've been watching their videos. Anyway, so I love that they continue that symbol, and this video perfectly encapsulates relationships in a way that is very unique to Big Hit Entertainment artists. I know G-Friend is technically from a smaller company that was acquired by Big Hit, but basically any company that Big Hit backs seems to embody that whole message of we are going to show the power and impact and importance of platonic relationships, as opposed to just focusing on romantic storylines in the traditional sense of a romance that's lovey-dovey. It's really all about just friendships and those platonic bonds you build in your life and connecting with people at that level, and how those relationships deserve to be valued and sought after at least as much as a romantic partner. So that is what Big Hit seems to always like to do with their artists' work. TXT is a perfect example of that, and G-Friend really embodied that ethos in this video. In the Crossroads video, the girls alternate between comforting each other and looking like they're enjoying each other's company, and then they also then go back to moments where they look like they don't want to talk to each other and they're trying to find a moment of silence and just want to be left alone. And that back and forth is just the perfect emulation of relationships in 2020 when people are quarantining together, which can help them grow closer and make them want to pull their hair out more than ever. So we're learning more about each other, and that can be good and bad, and shows you who your true friends are and who you want to be around and how much you can take around them. And so it just shows the whole spectrum of what bonding with someone looks like and all of its messiness. So it really summarizes so much of 2020 and the big hit ethos. Number 40 is Given or Taken by N-Hyphen. This new boy group has a very intriguing debut video that basically alludes to this dual world concept with vampires. It starts out where we see one character with a nosebleed, and then the word fate is written on the wall behind them in red letters, presumably written in blood. And so it's quite a unique horror movie of sorts. There's one scene where a guy's like staring at his hand, which suddenly erupts into flames. So there's a lot happening here, but the underlying theme seems to be vampires are taking over in a way. And it ends with a close-up of one character whose mouth slightly opens as he smiles, and we see that suddenly now he has fangs. And so it's a very to-be-continued ending, and I'm very excited for what N-Hyphen has in store going forward. Number 39, ATEEZ Inception. We've talked about this video at length before on the episode called ATEEZ Wonderland, so go check out that episode if you want more information, but it does a great job of continuing the story where the last music video left off, and it's got this impact that aligns so perfectly with the title and lyrics of the song. The video doesn't feel just totally disconnected, and why are they promoting this one message in their music and the video doesn't seem super relevant? This is not the case at all. In Inception, the video clearly goes along with the song, the theme of a dream within a dream, and trying to figure out what to pull out of your subconscious to go forward, what you want to bring into your future, and a lot of self-reflection, reflecting back on youth. We've got the symbols with the basketball court and things like that. And so it's just a video that it packs a big punch, especially if you've been following the story sonically in addition to watching the videos. It's also got this much more spread out choreography than in previous releases, which I really put on a tinfoil hat to theorize over. And you could interpret that the formations and dance moves ATEEZ make now seem to be more spread out from each other. They don't depend on each other as much to keep the dance formation intact and to make it seem like this whole collective thing. Their dance routines look more complete while they're spread out more than ever, and that just seems to represent kind of their increasing independence as characters in their video universe. Number 38, Super M with One, which was a mashup of Monster and Infinity. Those songs were combined for a video called One, again because it continues the Super M storyline very well. Go to the episode called The Empire Strikes Back for more on that. It really just does a great job showing how each character fits into the larger Super M universe and the SM Entertainment music video universe. And it's also got some really cool character emphasis. So like with Taemin, his character has these moments where it's so clear he's like got this inner monster or the supernatural villain side of him that is like bursting to come out, and that's very clear. With Kai's character, he's clearly in the Matrix trying to break it, like the lyrics say, and he's really struggling with that. And so each character, just the acting really adds to the traits that their characters have in this story. Number 37, One Us, To Be or Not To Be. This video makes a really interesting regal setting that makes you think this is just kind of like a royalty-themed video or drama of sorts, mixed with some horror/suspense elements. So it's like a combination of two different movie genres in one, but it manages to work out really well. It starts out where all the members are basically sitting at this lawn fancy dinner table, just laughing and dining, and the member who has the best hair ever, that's all these colorful pastels swirled together anyway. So the member with the gray hair is one who his eye gets zoomed in on, and as you look through his eye, you suddenly see all this other action unfolding that is a lot darker. So they start out looking like it's just cheerful, and then zooming in, you see that actually what's going on is much more sinister than that. He's now stuck inside this structure that really can carry a lot of symbolism if you really spend time thinking about it, because he is in this little gazebo of sorts. It looks like a gazebo, but it looks like it also had walls that have basically melted away. So there are giant holes in the fabric on all sides of this gazebo, and so in all directions it looks like he could just walk through the walls and escape. But then there are all of these intertwined bars or tree branches or something. Something is basically creating this maze-like situation that he can't get out of. So it looks like he would have an escape, but there's another layer of being stuck that he is experiencing. There's a similar contrast scene with another character who is tied up and surrounded by these masked figures at some points, but then at other points he's just in this room full of white flower bouquets and it just looks very serene. A couple of the members are experiencing different emotions and they're by different props that can mean different things, but those characters, what joins them together is the fact that they are posed in these statues, and there's a giant statue of a giant, like a literal hand of a giant, and they are in the palm of that giant's hand. The members proceed to try to crown themselves. One of the members just picks up a crown that was available on a throne. Another makes one out of the fallen branches in a forest that looks like it was mostly burned away. Finally, all the members end up joining together and they approach this red amulet of sorts that is positioned on one of those hand statues. So in the palm of a hand, again, we see something for the taking. And they take it, they get the amulet, and they all end the video wearing these matching black hooded robes together, as if they just achieved an initiation of sorts to the dark side or something. It's a very to be continued video. And side note, while I'm talking about One Us, doesn't it sound a lot better if you pronounce it Onius? I know it's not how you should pronounce it, but to be or not to be Onius sounds like a Shakespeare thing, not to be or not to be One Us. Come on. Number 36, 17 My My. This is just a very fun, happy, mood boost video where they're basically on this big cruise ship of sorts that is flying through the sky. So instead of rowing this boat in the ocean, it is being rowed in the clouds, among the clouds. And I love the lyric in the song, "Clouds are umbrellas for the sun," which is just so cute and actually very accurate. This song is just really great. It's about going your own pace in life and going your way, my way, as the song says. It's just a great song, and the video really adds to the fun vibe and the just pick-me-up message of the song. The video really helps add to that. Number 35, EXO-SC with Telephone. This video I find just very funny and very EXO. And very EXO-SC, the subunit really does some just quirky things that just seem like totally things they would do. And so they managed to carve out their own lane within the EXO world, but it's still very unique and unique to them. So anyway, I was very impressed by that and just the overall aesthetics. You can tell this was a very personalized setting, and I love when they add their personal touch to their subunit creative endeavors. So, but also the plot of this video is just really funny. Basically, they're singing about and acting out the fact that they're walking through their neighborhood and just trying to live their life while trying to reach out to someone and get their attention, but the person keeps saying I'm busy and they're texting or doing something else on their phone, and so they're basically sassing back like, I know you're not really busy, what are you doing, and give up your phone, what are you doing, pay attention to me please. And so the guys learn to hate their cell phones. They start dunking them in water and smashing them and basically doing whatever they can to destroy their phones. At one point, they're fighting over this, I don't know if it is their phone or it looked more like a remote control or something, but anyway, they're fighting over something that is digital and causes, when it breaks, it causes this weird power surge that triggers their entrance into a new dimension, very Channel Chasers-esque, and they're basically then in this other world where, long story short, they're in a control room that allows them to smash the devices that would allow people to use their phones. I guess it didn't really work though. And at the end of the video, it's just a relatable, wonderful ending that is anticlimactic where they just basically, the phone rings and they both jump towards it. Some notification pops up or otherwise they get a ding on their phone and they just both basically race each other to grab the phone and reach for it and see who messaged them. Right after this long spiel about, I'm done with this phone, I'm tired of it, they, at the end of the day, still run back to it anyway. Number 34, Ha Sun-woon with Forbidden Island. First of all, his outfits in this video are just really great. Those stage outfits, they're very Taemin-esque. It's got a very Taemin aesthetic, this video, and he's got this outfit in particular that it just, once you see it, you'll instantly think that's a Taemin look, and that is a great compliment. This is another video of his, like his last one, Get Ready, where it starts out where he's in this underwater setting or traveling through water to reach his destination, so I like that continuity there. It's also very cool visually because at one point he wears this metallic cape of sorts, and there's just a lot of reflective material in this video and mirrored images in a way that reflects light so that it's like a rainbow lighting effect throughout the video that I find very cool. And at one point he's standing on the shore and is surrounded by all of these blue butterflies, and I just love butterflies, and of course there's instant symbolism you can get out of using butterflies in a video, so maybe that will be a little Easter egg to take note of for his future videos. Number 33, Lee Soo-hyun, Alien. I was very positively surprised by this video and single from her because I'm so used to seeing her perform songs with her brother in their band where they basically sing a lot of ballads and emotional songs that are just very heavy in comparison to this. This was a very light and fun song, very much more pop leaning than their releases tend to be, and so she just has done an impressive job distinguishing from the Lee Soo-hyun, who's in the band Acmu, versus the Lee Soo-hyun who is a soloist. It's a very cool video that merges her 2D alien self with her just self, and she goes through all of these cool intergalactic environments with just very unique aesthetics. She plays this Dance Revolution game that turns her into that dancing 2D alien, and it's just, you've got to watch it. It's very fun, and it almost makes you forget that she's Lee Soo-hyun because she's taking on this whole other persona for her solo pursuit, which I really admire. Number 32, N-Flying Starlight. This is an animated video, and it's just really, really cute. It features these elderly people with grandkids who draw faces onto balloons so that when they leave, the grandparents will still get to see their face, and you can kind of interpret the relationship between characters. So maybe it's not that. At times, you can interpret it as they're drawing the face on the balloon so that the kid can still see the grandparent after the grandparent has passed on. Maybe it's the grandparent can still see someone after they move away, not just pass away, maybe it's just moving away. There are a bunch of different interpretations, but basically the message of the video is, you can still see me and we're still connected. Here's a balloon, and they draw faces on them. It's just a very cool way to show how relatives are expressing their love for each other and staying in touch. It's just adorable. I would love to see like a half-hour Peanut-style special for the characters in this video. Number 31, Ha Sun-woon, Get Ready. Again, this starts with him swimming underwater, and he goes to this undersea house, and he basically travels levels where sometimes he's jumping out the window and he's flying through the sky, other times he would jump out the window and probably sink into the ocean. So it just covers every level of the atmosphere, and it's a lot of fun. You basically can feel like you're kind of flying on this journey with him. It's very just visually engaging. Number 30, Ice Cream by Blackpink featuring Selena Gomez. Because of the same reason, it's very visually engaging. It looks like a Barbie Dreamhouse world come to life. I want to live there. It looks so much fun. All these little tricycles and ball pits and just pink houses and pink everything. It just looks like a lot of fun to be there, and it's quite the visual escape to watch that video. Number 29, Lee Hi Holo, H-O-L-O. This video from Lee Hi is very touching. It tells the story of her, what some may interpret as her just talking to a little sister or a little cousin or someone else that's young, but I view it as her talking to her younger self, especially with lyrics about like, I'm too precious to worry about this or that, or I need to protect myself in this way as I grow up, are basically what the lyrics are about. Holding on to this youthful spirit is what the song is wistful about. And in the video, Lee Hi comes to this little girl who may be a younger version of herself while she's wearing angel wings, so she's kind of like a guardian angel for her younger self. And that is just a very touching message and storyline that I really enjoyed watching. Number 28, NCT 127 with Punch, not for any specific reason regarding aesthetics or plot. It is just, the looks are just so on point. The setting is perfect for my tinfoil hat theorizing about the fact that they're on this little stage, and how the stage and their lyrics, like my show goes on, reference the fact this is all like a movie for them and not real life. I've elaborated at length about that before, but anyway, it plays into my theories well, and I love the whole biker rocker thing they've got going with their wardrobe. It's just one of my personal biased favorites on this list. Number 27, IU featuring Suga with 8. This video mixes both time travel elements of sorts, where IU is traveling using this time machine that makes it look like she's just asleep in this dream world, but I would argue it's going back in time. And it also mixes just these animated elements where it goes in and out of seeing IU, the person, just walking around, and IU, the cartoon character, going on a plane and jumping off of the plane or jumping off of something and just flying through the air and going through all these different environments. So it mixes animation with just the physical world in a cool way that still keeps the message of the story intact and doesn't seem like a distraction. So you'll see what I mean if you watch that video. Number 26, Twice, I Can't Stop Me. First of all, the Clueless wardrobe, the Clueless movie wardrobe, I am so here for from them. Second of all, they've got this cool Wreck-It Ralph looking setting that's like these candy-colored striped cliffs they dance around, so just visually it's a really cool video. They wear a lot of pretty dresses too, which I love. It's like a prom night aesthetic mixed with Clueless movie aesthetic mixed with what would happen if you ever saw the cleanest subway station in the world that you got to dance in. It's just a lot going on, and just visually, it's very impressive. And I also love that Twice is really doing something they haven't done before, which is have a companion video that goes with a companion album, because this year they released the album More and More, and they intentionally said that it is supposed to go along with their Eyes Wide Open album. So the two albums this year were meant to be partner albums of sorts, continuing the same theme about temptations and crossing a line with More and More and then I Can't Stop Me. And the video continues that too, where the train is back. The video ends with the train practically falling off a cliff. And there are just other references to the More and More video. So this is just a cool follow-up and a continuation, which is kind of new for them. So I'm excited to see if this is a new era of Twice where they are doing that thing that I love when artists do, where they keep a story going continuously so that each music video becomes like an episode of the TV series. I hope Twice goes that route, because right now the TV series is one that we want to see renewed for sure. Today's podcast recommendation is Back Issue. Back Issue tells the stories behind formative moments in pop culture. In each episode, the hosts look back at some of the moments that shook us and changed us that may have gone overlooked before. You may be asking, how did this happen? Why do we still love this situation? And all of the details will be unraveled in the show Back Issue, which is available now wherever you get your podcasts. Number 25, NCTU From Home. Both videos, I'm just going to say, are tied for this. That's not cheating. I make the rules with this list, because there's the From Home video that is a montage of all of these moments that show, all these home videos of sorts, that show these evolution from NCT members' rookie days of their career to their fame now. And it's just a very cool video for longtime fans to watch and reminisce about their growth as artists and their ascension to global popularity. It's a very cool emotional video to watch, and I'm sure it was for them too, to watch their journey in a montage like that. But also just the other video, because it has some cute pictures of them when they were younger, and it's just got this very cool feel to it that adds to the song's emotional weight, and so it met the moment with that video. Number 24, Answer by ATEEZ. A great continuation of their story, just like Inception was, although Answer was released before that, but the point being that ATEEZ keeps the story going in a very continuous way that keeps your interest still and doesn't get repetitive. At this point, the members are dining with their alter egos at one point, maybe looking like they could come across to a truce, but then at the very end of the video, we're back to this figure being masked and entering that room with the messy dining table and the broken chandelier, and just a sign that the meeting did not go well. It also has a cool scene with, it starts out with one blue butterfly and then suddenly a bunch of baby-sized butterflies are fluttering around the room, so there's a symbol that there's hope for them yet. And each member has like a separate room where you can draw a lot of interpretation from the rooms they're in. The room with the clock on the ground, the snow-covered room, the room of mirrors, the guy who's in a little boat. There's a lot there to discuss that has to do with previous and then eventually future ATEEZ video releases. Number 23, Nature Girls. Girls by Nature is quite a departure for them, not just in terms of sound, but in terms of actual music video concept, and so it was very exciting to watch. It felt like the dawn of a new era for them that I'm so here for, and I would love to see more from them. They went from videos that were more just fun to watch to a video that is more suspenseful and gripping in a cinematic way, so I hope they keep up this theme that's a bit on the darker side for them. It's got a lot of possible horror movie references, although I'm not a horror movie fan really, so maybe not, but scenes like lying on this bloody ground and girls in these identical white dresses walking down this long hall. There's this room with all these scissors hanging by strings from the ceiling. There's this grass that is revealed after pulling back the sheets, so something's growing. There's a lot there that you could interpret or it could mean nothing, but either way, it's very visually arresting. It commands your attention, although the part where a teddy bear gets stabbed, I get very upset by, but I digress. The story is just very intriguing, and I'm so curious what happens next. Number 22, Woods with Love Me Harder. Love Me Harder is a very funny video to watch. It's kind of like the plot of a maybe straight to DVD, but still a comedy movie, and it's Woods against his alter ego. It starts out where Woods is in this car with his girlfriend, and they have a fight, and the girlfriend slams the car door and storms off. So then this alter ego shows up and basically is in talks with Woods' character saying, hey, I know how you could get the girl back, I know how things can turn around for you luck-wise, you just have to do everything I say. So he believes him, which he shouldn't have, but he does, and then the whole video is basically whatever this evil alter ego of his tells him to do, he does, so he commits a bunch of crimes and does a bunch of other stuff that's mischievous, to say the very, very least, and mischievous at best, illegal at worst. So anyway, allowing his strings to be pulled by this puppeteer and doing the dirty work for him. And so at the very end, when it seems like it will all pay off that this guy promised him, suddenly he's back at that setting where the fight happened in their car, and the alter ego is just sitting there eating popcorn, watching the show. He's just literally sitting there watching the show and laughing at the fact that he was believed. Like, you really thought I would help you? And so he basically of course now Woods is really angry and confronts him, but he's not intimidated whatsoever and just keeps laughing at him. It's just a very funny concept that I could totally see being made into a full-length movie about the devil on your shoulder and what happens when you follow its lead. Number 21, Lovelies with Obliviate. What's very intriguing about this video is not only is it a departure like Nature did this year, where it's a departure from their previous more light and fun videos to something with darker messages and literally darker settings, but it's also intriguing how it is video where each character is in a setting that you would assume is the scene of ultimate serenity and bliss and an ultimate hideaway, but they're all sad or distraught or looking lost and terrified while they're in these settings that are supposed to be heavenly. So, for example, there's one member who's in this hallway that is lined with so much greenery and sunshine, but instead of just taking it in, she's running around looking very lost, like she's trapped in a labyrinth of sorts. One girl is in a room full of these beautiful, colorful paintings, but she just throws sheets over them. She doesn't want to see it. Another one of them is surrounded by books, but instead of just enjoying them, she's ripping through this pile of books, desperately searching, I guess, for one of them that she can't seem to find. So they're all trapped in these nightmare scenarios in dreamscapes. Most notable storyline-wise in this video is the scene where we see a girl go from being unable to open a door in the castle to facing a blindfolded version of herself. So a quick suddenly pans to, you see the scene where she's facing a blindfolded version of herself in a mirror. So she's staring at herself in the mirror, but that person in the mirror has a blindfold on. And then right after she faces that self, the blindfolded self, then suddenly she finds the key needed to unlock the door. So when she does, a pile of books falls out, and that's when she's presumably looking for a spell book of sorts. Later on, the roles are reversed because she takes a blindfold that is offered to her by an outstretched hand. Then the camera angle zooms around to reveal that that hand came from the girl in the mirror. So now the girl in the physical world has the blindfold on, and her reflection in the mirror no longer has the blindfold. Then, in a Harry Potter-esque twist, this owl flies into the room where all the girls finally come together, and the owl drops a little scroll into one of the girls' palms, so they have some sort of message delivered to them, maybe from that girl in the world within the mirror, but we don't know for sure. All the books and jewels and other things that they discovered in this castle go up in flames in front of them, willingly it seems, and then the girls are seen just watching the whole castle burn as they stand outside of it, including this black winged statue out front that feels very symbolic. A lot to this story that is also very contained, so this may just be the end of a short era and a short story, but I do want to see more from this in the future. Number 20, BTS Shadow. We've talked about this a lot before, but quick recap. The shadow concept that they're going with has many layers to it, one of them being that they are scared of facing their own shadows, their own personal demons, and really learning who they are, and they're trying to figure out who they are versus who the celebrity version of themselves is. So in this solo from Suga, he is seen on a stage at one point, all these phones are flashing around, and people are trying to film him. There are parts where all these hands reach out to him to grab him, so he's really struggling with the celebrity of his career, but he does love his career. So he raps about and sings about, don't let me shine, don't let me continue to rise, because then it gets more daunting the higher up I get in my career. And he does sing about that, basically using the metaphor of the higher you are standing on whatever, a ledge or something, the harder the fall is, so the more daunting it is to mess up. And that's what the video embodies and conveys that song's message so well by doing. At one point, he's standing in front of this doorway lined with this red sand of sorts, which some have thought references this Anish Kapoor sculpture, which basically is meant to represent being self-made in a way. There's also a scene where he's in some sort of hotel hallway or maybe a train hallway, but either way, it could be a nod to a previous scene in a previous BTS video. There are a lot of nods in this video to previous releases and just the concept of BTS from the beginning, like the fact he's wearing a bulletproof vest, and their whole thing is, the name BTS translates to the Bulletproof Boy Scouts, essentially. So he's got the vest on. The extended cut of this video features references to Home and No More Dream. The video also has some Oh Are You Late Too era imagery, so a lot of cool nods to previous eras, mixed with his current state of mind about wondering, where do I go from here? Number 19. Boca by Dreamcatcher. This continues their storyline quite well, which we will probably get into more in a future episode, but for now I'll just say that the key moments worth remembering are the scene where a girl is surrounded by these busts of heads, these statues of heads that have red tape over their mouths. There's also a symbolic scene where one of the characters is hit with some sort of bow and arrow. The bow and arrow gets shot in one scene, and then the arrow ends up hitting this girl in a different scene. There's this guy in the background of some shots that are taken on the street, and that guy is seen with this persona type mask on, this theatrical mask you may remember from like Singularity from BTS, and he's got this why so serious kind of expression on his face. So there are a lot of sinister plot points being developed in the Boca video. Number 18, then, I have to say, is Scream by Dreamcatcher, which actually came out before Boca, but I prefer the video more. This video kept up that storyline, especially with lyrics like Devil Eyes Come. They are in the middle of a Halloween movie, as always with them. The words on the screen during that video are, "One day, suddenly, the light did not come. People forgot how to say good things." The universe of Dreamcatcher is this universe where they entered a portal and now they are in a world where there's no good, basically. And they try to escape this dark world and enter either the real world or maybe it's a heaven-hell contrast, but either way, they want to go away, but the portal they cannot reach in time. They end with these black hoods on walking away from the tree that holds the portal within it. This video has really cool choreography that has this clockwork resemblance to it, and Dreamcatcher really has some cool choreography in different videos like that that really adds to the layers of symbols in their videos. Number 17, Idea by Taemin, which we talked about a lot in the episode called Taemin's Latest Act, I believe. This video features that little silver robot guy that we've been talking about in SM Entertainment video worlds. There's this scene where he's dancing on a table surrounded by people who have this red paint around their eyes, which made me think of the No video from BTS's early days. So just a lot of settings and details worth noting for Taemin's character and cinematic universe he's creating through his videos. And the Idea video continues those trends. It also has a lot of lyrics that just add to the theme of, deepening shadows, killing me softly, I'm finally opening my eyes, a dangerous dream that swallowed me. So he's emerging from this idea, this figment of his imagination, and that is demonstrated through these walls of flames and other just big moments that show that he's trying to collapse and get rid of that old world and those figments of his imagination that ended up being destructive. He's destroying what destroyed him. Number 16, Black Swan by BTS. Yes, again, I'm just making up my own rules, so I'm allowed to say I count as a tie the actual BTS featuring Black Swan video and the dance version from the dance company. Martha Graham choreographed that dance troupe's performance for Black Swan, where they basically formed a human swan that flapped its wings. That's what their formation looked like. And basically her choreography came from the phrase, "A dancer dies twice, once when they stop dancing, and the first death is more painful," which is what the song is all about, really, is that you feel like giving up your dream is the ultimate death, truly, and being scared of what would happen if you suddenly could no longer go after that dream of yours and live your dream every day. Another video this year where BTS let us into their current state of mind about things and where they are fame-wise and how that is affecting how they view their career and their future goals. The choreography for this, both from BTS and this dance troupe, are stunning symbols of what the song is all about. And the members also serve as each other's shadows in the video, which is a cool, unexpected twist. Number 15, Hold by Winner, which features a cameo from Lee Soo-hyun from ACMU, their label mate. More than a cameo, really. She's the star of this video. It's really funny. It's a video where they play the role of her brothers or her cousins or someone else who's super protective over her or maybe just super annoying and in her space. The first half of the video, they're trying to figure out who she's texting and who she's trying to communicate with, what that's all about, and interfere with her relationship with whoever it is. And she tries to, get the phone out of their sight and away from them as they get super nosy about it. And then the second half of the video, you realize that it is some boy and they're going to ruin her chances with him. She tries to let her date into the house, but different imposters of sorts keep showing up, which are the Winner members that playing different characters. So the Winner members, who are her brothers, are looking through the security camera or the keyhole or whatever, looking at who's at the door, while the same members are dressed up as different characters who are coming for her attention, basically. 3 out of the 4 guys do not meet the brothers' criteria for approval. They do not look like folks that they want in their house. But the 4th guy dresses up in a suit and looks super clean cut. They allow him to go into the house and go upstairs on this date of sorts with Lee Soo-hyun. They then interrupt the date by bursting into her bedroom while they're having a conversation and interrupting the conversation completely and just being super loud and annoying and trying to like play games with them and interact with them, and they are just ruining everything. So she storms out naturally as one would, and instead of feeling bad, the boys are just giving each other high fives and cheering like, "We did it, success, boys." And I feel for this character, so it's a sad video with not much of a special ending that makes you feel satisfied, but is just relatable and funny. And I love when the members of Winter play different characters because they've done that previously for their tour promo videos and things like that. And I love when they do that, when they tap into these other characters and act. It's always a weird, funny, slapstick humor situation. Number 14, Dancing Cartoon by Bol4. She still goes under that stage name, although she is a soloist now, BOL4. Also, it basically translates to Blushing Youth if you extend the wording, but it's abbreviated to Bol4 anyway. She is in this very aesthetic world in this video. It's very cute and it's cartoonish in a lot of ways, hence the name Dancing Cartoon. It starts out where Wonpil from Day 6 plays this starring role, and Bol4 gets rejected by him, but she seems to get over it quite quickly because she goes into her house and is like, whatever, he rejected me, and she has a house party with her friends, and they're just partying it up and trying to forget about him. But then she sees his face everywhere, in her magazines, on her soda bottles, everywhere. She tries flirting a second time with him, and Wonpil literally shrugs her off. And so she's looking really defeated and can't stop thinking about him. Then don't ask questions. Then this guy wearing a big bunny hat shows up, and so he's like in a bunny headpiece like a mascot. He is basically her ride, so once she's looking defeated and embarrassed because Wonpil literally shrugged her off, the bunny man drives up in his cardboard box car, literally a cardboard box car, and says, "I can give you a ride home to make you feel better, I guess." Anyway, she eagerly accepts the ride, and the bunny man the next day presumably drops her off at this park bench where Wonpil is, so she's going to give him another try. So she sits on the bench by him, and eventually they do hold hands. I don't know what changed his mind. Maybe the bunny man was a very impressive chauffeur to him. I don't know. But they hold hands, and really cutely, she's wearing this giant hat so that when they lean in to kiss, the hat blocks the view so you can't see it. Now, Wonpil is the one that's running after her, and he's literally reaching his hands out to her like, "Don't leave." And at the very end, they end up hugging back at the house where the video started and she was initially rejected. Then the end credits roll like it was a movie you were watching. And it's just a very overall cute story. I loved watching it, and Bol4 always has this cool charisma in her videos, and this was no exception. Number 13. Teddy Bear by Natty. I honestly didn't care for Natty's music when she came out with that single 19. I wasn't a huge fan, but then I saw her perform at the virtual KCON event this year, and I was so impressed with her. She had such a fun, bubbly stage presence, and it was just so exciting to watch her perform. And she was just so likable. I was very excited for her future, and she did not disappoint. I love the song Teddy Bear. It's such a fun single, and I'm just so excited for her future in this industry. I also want to say that, side note, I think this digital KCON actually may have had a better publicity impact than you think, may have left more of a mark than you think, and not just have been another digital concert, because it, for example, led me to become a fan of Natty, and so maybe it did help people who wouldn't otherwise pay attention to certain artists see them in a new light after watching their performances, maybe because they were watching while waiting for their favorite artist to get on the stage that day. But either way, it's really a cool way to give a bunch of promo to these different artists, so that may be one of the longer term impacts we'll see from the digital KCON. Anyway, the video for Teddy Bear, naturally I have a soft spot for teddy bears, so it was adorable for that reason, but also it is just such a cute song and video that I don't do justice talking about. It is just absolutely adorable. She gets this teddy bear order in the mail, and then she's just hanging out with this teddy bear. That's all you need to know. I would just say go watch it. Number 12, On by BTS. Again, I'm going to not cheat, these are just my rules. I'm going to say that there's a tie here again with the different versions of the On video, because all of them just have unique things about them that I love. The dance performance video with the drum line and everything, I really thought was very cool. I could picture it as I watched it being something that would happen as the live intro to their concert tour. It's a marker of a very impressive song if you can visualize it being performed live right off the bat, and I could with that dance performance video with the drummers and everything. So well done for them there, also because of my whole Shadow of the Colossus theory that I went on a tangent about in a previous episode. Then there is the On more cinematic video. The characters are different, not traditionally from BTS stories. These are brand new ones, so it's kind of a detour from the BTS universe story. So you can really enjoy it just in one piece. You don't have to be a super fan that's been following this music video story to get what's happening, and so that has pros and cons to it, things to like about it and things to be disappointed by. But anyway, it's a well done video about this big wall that breaks in half, and they need it to break in half and open its doors in a way to get to the other side, to get to this other world, but that requires some steps to happen first, like blowing the conch signal, the conch signal, but I learned to say conch, thanks SpongeBob. There's a lot to it, and I'll just leave it at that. Number 11, Daechita from August D, which we also have talked about at length before. I will just say now, though, what I really appreciate most about the video is that it was so educational to watch and learn about, because I watched it and then wanted to know more instantly. And luckily, a lot of people wrote about this video because it piqued everyone's interest about what is this Pansori storytelling that he is emulating here, what are the symbols of his outfits and just everything that happens to him in the video, what is the background, the history of these symbols, and what does this have to do with Korean culture. All sorts of questions were raised by the video, which is, I just love to see. I also love the special little moment where Jin and V are in the background, so it's a special moment that I honestly missed the first time I watched the video, but in the background, if you look closely at one point, when August D is walking through the busy city streets, he suddenly accidentally rubs shoulders with, bumps into Jin, who suddenly turns around and starts fighting physically with V, thinking that V is the one who bumped into him. So it's just a funny little moment where the characters in the background are fighting and it's them. I thought that was just a really cool cameo. Number 10, Any Song by Zico. The biggest mood of this video. His friends show up and basically are throwing him a birthday party, and he wants nothing to do with it. He just wants everyone to be gone. He's not a people person in this video whatsoever, wants them out of his house. He just sits there with this grumpy look on his face, wearing the party hat, and just watching everyone else have the time of their life. But he clearly looks like he's just focused on the fact he'll be the one to clean up afterwards, and he just wants to be left alone, all of that. Then he opens the door and more guests have shown up with a birthday cake. They're saying happy birthday to him. And he just looks so disgusted, like, I have had it with you people. Get out of my house. So he just stands there looking very much like he wants to punch everyone there. And as they sing to him, they seem to be awaiting him to blow out the candles. And so when the camera turns back to where he was to blow out the candles, he's suddenly not there anymore. He just up and left. He ran out of the house and is walking away. He's just so done with everything. And it ends with a collage of sorts where you see all the pictures from the evening. And in every picture, everyone is having the time of their life except Zico, who looks like he is just so miserable while he's wearing this party hat and just amongst the crowd. It's just such a 2020 mood, and just such a mood in general for people who are not fans of having company over, who are not social beings. It's such a mood. Number 9, Goblin/Favorite Boys by Ace. Chan said when they were talking about this comeback that they specifically chose a Korean wardrobe and not just this quote-unquote Asian wardrobe overall. They wanted to specifically show Korean culture. Another great video like Daechita where it got people talking and interested in what they were showing, what fashion they were showing, what overall stories and history they were emulating, and this video had a lot of that in it. Hyungwon indicated that he is the ultimate villain character in their music video world that's being developed, and was developed times 10 from Savage to this Goblin video. And it taught us all that goblins in Korea are talked about in fables and stuff as very friendly creatures. So we think of them as like, if you call someone a goblin in the USA, you're probably insulting them or just not a fan of how they look or who they are. But in Korea, it's actually good luck and it's just a cute thing. Goblins aren't scary at all. They're fun. It's a compliment to be described in that way in some ways. They have a lot of positive traits. So it was just quite a conversation starter, this video. The fashion, the hair, and the makeup in this video are also just top tier and a really cool experimental style just in terms of what Ace has done in videos before. They told a story through their wardrobe way more than ever before, which was very exciting to watch. Number 8, Misfit by NCT U. The part where they are basically not raising the roof, but doing that kind of move, but off to the side instead of above their head, you know it when you see it. That part of the bridge is just the most fun thing ever. I just always smile when I see them do that one dance move. I love a song that has those easy to copy moves that are just so fun. It just looks like they're having the time of their life in that video, and it's contagious, their joy, and they're good vibes of the video. It's just full of good vibes. And of course I love the message about being a misfit but not really caring. Get out of my own way. I'll be a misfit. That's fine with me. I would even put it higher up on my list, but it's a little claustrophobia inducing to watch a few of the scenes where they're in this weird cage of sorts, and there's so many of them, and they're saying get out of my way, and it's like, how ironic, you're all in each other's way in the middle of a very closed-in space, but anyway. Number 7, Criminal by Taemin. Again, go to the Taemin-specific episodes of the show for more on that. We've already talked about this video a lot. But I'll just say for now, first of all, this video has really beautiful eye makeup and wardrobe choices that Taemin continues to use to not just show that he's very experimental and always has been with outfits telling a story, but that he intentionally is choosing different looks for different characters because he has these alter egos that he's dealing with in his storyline. And so he continues to emulate that through his wardrobe choices, which I like. And aside from the looks, what I like most about this video has got to be the blink and you'll miss it moments. Like when he's holding up playing cards in one hand that's just his hand and one hand that's like a skeleton hand, and it's unclear if that's supposed to represent his other hand or someone else's, but those little moments where you blink and miss it leave me in a lot of thought about what we're supposed to theorize about that stuff and why it's in there but not emphasized intentionally maybe. What more is there to that part of his story? Taemin is also so impressive with how he acts. He really, through his singing and dancing, does play a character. And so when he's his alter ego, he really steps into that character. And he is like a different Taemin, which I have always been so impressed by. Number 6 is Kick It. Again, it's kind of like NCT 127's Punch video, where I don't have much to justify why I love it. I just really do, and I'm a biased N citizen, and so Kick It had to be up high on my list. Number 5, Left and Right by 17. Such a fun video where they are literally dancing left and right. We see SQ, the leader, basically gets shot up like a rocket in his car, so he's driving vertically, and then he crashes down and all the members kind of shrug off what happened and dance left and right still. Just no matter what chaos ensues in the video, they still keep dancing and shrugging it off. It's just so much fun to watch, and it bottles up all of that enthusiasm and charm that 17 videos are known for, and really just that bottle of all of that explodes in this video. It was such a delight. Number 4, Dynamite by BTS. I love the little Easter eggs in this video, like the sign that says Make It Right on one of the storefronts, which is a nod to a previous BTS song title. The donut shop scene shows that the store closes at 7, and 7 is a big symbolic number for BTS and for the fans. And it is the fun summer song that we needed with the perfect video. It is just this candy-colored, magical rainbow of a good time, really. Number 3, Blue Hour by TXT. First of all, I'm just very proud that I have that elaborate theory about how their storyline is meant to connect to Something Wicked This Way Comes, which I talked about in the TXT dedicated episode, so I'm just proud of that theory of mine, which they really added to with this new video. Second of all, It has a very cool message. The song is about 5:53, which is the time that sun sets in October in Korea. So the direct title translation in Korean is I discover you and me in the sky at 5:53. And the song is meant to encapsulate those feelings of a sunset and what that provokes in you. Maybe a sense of longing or a sense of joy at a fresh start, however you want to interpret it. The closing or the opening of a new chapter. That is what they wanted to show with this song, and the video really summarizes that feeling as well. They are dancing in these really cute crop tops and other outfits in front of this merry-go-round. They are in this basically amusement park in the sky and jump off and are flying through the air. There are a lot of fun pastel colors. It's just a very cool, fun carnival setting with the Ferris wheel as well, and the boys just hanging out and enjoying each other's company by this tree, watching the autumn leaves fall. It's just very visually appealing of a video, and it really embodies what the song was really trying to bring home. Number 2, Home Run by 17. As I just wrote about on my site recently, this basically was one of the many examples of how 17 brings the Broadway show to our homes when real Broadway shows are canceled. They have these very theatrical, big, large-scale productions of music videos. They feel like you're watching a live theater performance, so energetic, it literally ending with a bang with the fireworks, and just from start to finish, a fun, amusing storyline. It's this goofy comedy jewel heist situation that starts out with the scene where SQ is crashing his car and then gets hit in the head, but then the diamond shows up. They're all fighting over the diamond, and they've got the scene in the bar / lounge of sorts where they're playing pool, and there's this scene outside of the movie theater where they're all dancing, and you see the lit up marquee that lists their debut date, which is a special little detail there. There are a lot of details to the story, and it is just so many fun hijinks that 17 videos are known for now, and a cool continuation picking up where the left and right video left off. Drum roll please for number 1 favorite best K-pop music video of 2020. We Are Bulletproof, The Eternal by BTS. This is a very adorable and moving animated video that follows their career journey these past 7 years. It has settings and symbols from all sorts of past eras of their music, and you follow their musical journey along with the cartoon character through the video. So it's very touching. The song itself is a tearjerker that really summarizes going on this journey with BTS and how it feels like we've been growing up alongside them as opposed to just learning from them. They've also learned from us, and we've helped each other all these years. So it's just a very moving tribute to the relationship between BTS and the ARMY. That had to be number 1. I honestly knew that it would be back in February. So I've known for a while that would be my favorite of the year, but I'm making it official right now. For honorable mentions of favorite videos of the year, as well as my other lists about the best of the best from 2020 music, stay tuned for the next few episodes of the show. I have a lot more to say. It was a great year for music, so at least we had that. In a very frustrating year, at least there was music there. So keep an eye out on the site for more updates and the reveal of my number 1 album of the year. Also, make sure you stay tuned for a new How to Stand on Sunday, and then new episodes of 17 Carat K-Pop next week, talking about award shows and more, not just countdowns. Lots of stuff to talk about before the year ends. So just stay tuned, and thank you for listening as always. Talk to you soon.